Hi, everyone. Welcome to our market update. Something new that we haven't done. We do the question, but we never really tell you the answer on here once we do the question. So I thought, I'm going to jump back to a question we had about 2 weeks ago
And
uh,
give us the answer?
and give the answer. That'd probably be helpful, don't you think?
That is pretty helpful. You're pretty nice.
Thank you. So, how much is the least expensive multi-unit family house sell in San Diego County? And I took out Borrego Springs so far this year, and we did it 2 weeks ago. So, since September, roughly. You have any guesses, David?
I'm gonna guess multi-units, what, 3 or 4?
It was a duplex, but
Oh, is it duplex? I'm gonna say 600. Whoa. Wow. Man, I would have liked to have bought that. Was it livable?
no, I think it was pretty rough, really rough condition. I think it was
I
cash.
mean, shoot, but for that price, if you put 200,000 into it, you're still winning.
I know. I know. I saw that. Oh shoot! I think it might have been a uncooperative tenant too, or something like that. It was something crazy.
Well, on another front, I was talking to one of my larger investor clients, and he was telling me, about this. It's called Renters Relief Fund, and I didn't know this, but during the pandemic, I mean, a lot of people didn't pay rent, and landlords couldn't do anything about it. They just had to eat it. And so recently, they made it to where during COVID, as a renter, you could have applied to this renters relief fund and got the money from the state to pay for your rent. And then it goes directly to the landlord. And so the landlord doesn't lose money because, in the circle of life, everything comes full circle where if a tenant doesn't pay, then the landlord doesn't get paid, then he can't do stuff. The whole circulation of money stops. And so the goal was to keep the money going through this renters relief. Well, renters didn't apply for it because they just didn't pay. Now they opened up the renters relief fund to landlords who can document that they had tenants not paying during COVID, and the state will pay you back.
Oh wow!
How's
That's
that?
awesome. That's a nugget right there that I got to. I know a couple people that probably really appreciate that one.
Yeah,
Well,
that is. I mean, and this guy, he owns 200 doors,
yeah, that's
so
huge
he
right
has
there.
a couple rental properties.
Yeah, I have a couple of different landlords I'm gonna throw that out to. Something also too that's fairly new that it just happened actually happened today was so we talked about before how Zillow was buying a lot of properties out there, and the numbers people like I had a lot of clients who were telling me going, oh my gosh, how are they buying it at this price? They're paying more than basically the
They're
end
buying
users
market.
buying this property, right? Buying the market. Well, I guess their money does have a limit because they're stopping buying any more properties right now. So they do have inventory on the market. There's only one realtor in San Diego County that listing their properties in San Diego County.
Who is that?
And well, I don't know if I'm supposed to say,
Oh, I think I know them.
but you
Oh
probably
no,
do.
go ahead. This is a family show. You can say it. It's not a bad word.
Okay. Well, Zandra, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure she's the only one that does
that's
it.
what I thought it was.
Yeah, so they have currently 86 properties on the market right now. So my assumption is that if they just stop buying now, whatever they have in the books, so they probably are going to get rid of that inventory right now. So there's still opportunities to purchase a Zillow purchase, yet selling to Zillow is at least on a hold for the time being. So I know for myself, I had a client that was able to take advantage of it and was able to get a lot more than other people were offering. So it was good while it lasted, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that's on another bigger picture front. So we talked about Zillow just overbuying and buying market share. Also, better.com, which is trying to be a digital mortgage company, recently spent $86 million in marketing. And the way that they're doing it is their job. They want to take the loan officer, take them out of the equation, and basically make it like a phone app, and you just do everything through your phone yourself, and it eliminates the person in my job. Well, the part about that people don't seem to understand is if you don't have somebody guiding you and helping you make good decisions, strong financial decisions, planning, looking at a bigger picture, and making sure you can afford your,
Monthly payment.
then you have simply an app that's just selling you something, and later on you're going to see economic consequences. So our industry right now is not geared towards the service that people deserve, because buying a home is expensive, getting a mortgage is expensive. And if you get wrong advice from the lender, the realtor, anybody, it's very, very expensive. And the industry seems like it's trying to move towards making everybody, dollar store.
Well, the thing you have to
It's not
remember
quality.
too is that most loans, right? Okay, the closest what David's talking about is going to be a brick and mortar bank, right? Like a Wells Fargo, Bank of America, those kind of companies, right? That's probably going to be the closest to what David's talking about, because the reason why I say that is usually those entities, right? They have set guidelines you have to meet to purchase a property. Now, most of us, right, aren't cookie cutter people like everyone else, right? There's issues that came about, child support, student loan, whatever it might be, right? And so that we have an originator that can talk to the underwriter and go, hey, you know what? This is a situation here. This is why we can take this item off right here and factor this, and this is their DTI. So it makes it a little more difficult of getting kind of what's possible, what's not possible, missing something. And one of the worst things that can happen, one of the worst things that happen is when someone gets overly excited about a property because they just got under contract, right? And they're going fully forward. They have the appraisal order, they have the home inspection done, and they find out, hey, you know what? The lender missed something.
Ooh.
Oh, I didn't see this. Oh, I didn't notice this. I didn't factor this in. And now you can't buy that property anymore. Can't qualify, right? So that's the thing that I could see a hiccup happening. But yeah, before we go any further, I'm going to go strictly over the numbers really quick so then David can go over rates.
And I'm going to grab the charger for my laptop. So you do that, and I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Perfect. All right. Going over the numbers. Now, if you can see the top number right there of new property right now, no, it's not an omen. There's nothing bad if you believe in that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I saw that new inventory was at 666, that was definitely something. But as the week goes on, that number will probably jump up, probably to the 700s. The positive about everything right there is the sold property number has trickled down a tad bit, but that number is also going to go up. So hopefully that discrepancy at least stays. So we don't see anything too drastic of taking away inventory. But as we talked about, agents are a little behind sometimes. So we do.
I thought you were doing a Halloween joke with your 666.
No, I know. When I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, well, the mark of the beast. Anyways.
Oh man, the mark of the beast.
All right, let's get into it. What about how rates?
Well, a lot of you are not going to like this, but it's not been doing well. We're reaching certain levels to where it's critical for bonds. And basically, if we get the jump that we need to, we're going to have some room for what's called upside, which means we will get improvements in interest rates. But the last couple of days, they have not been that good. And, the key things that you really got to look at is the Fed is still saying they're going to start tapering. The bond market does not like that, and either does Wall Street. And so we really need bad financial data, which sounds terrible. But when you think tomorrow we have housing starts coming out, housing starts and permits. If we have low housing starts and low permits, that is bad. Bad for a couple of reasons. Bad because it means people aren't working. Also bad because it means a shortage of inventory is going to continue. And then on Thursday, we have existing home sales data. That's another one. We want to know how much homes are being exchanged. And then finally, Wednesday, we have a bond auction. So basically, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week is going to be powerhouse week. And those are going to be the days where lenders should really be watching everything to see what they can get you into, because it has been ugly last week. And, what I mean by ugly is before everything was in the low twos. And now a lot of things are in the threes. It's pretty normal to be up in the threes. And overall, is that still good? Yeah. But for those of you that only remember 2.75 and 2.5, well, those days, I don't know about that. Everything is signaling that your new norm, I think, is going to stay in that 3% to 3.25% range. And that's still overall phenomenal. It really is, Vinnie. I mean, it's still really good. But people lose sight of the bigger picture. People who've been looking for houses for months were like, oh, before I was at 2.625. Now I'm at 3. This sucks. and people are getting discouraged. So make sure you're talking to your lender, make sure your lender's following the market, and make sure you're up to date on the information because things are moving quickly. And if you think before when the rates were 2.75 and you had your payment, well, now that the rates are 3, the payment's different. So keep that in perspective with the market changing. And if it goes like I think it's going to go in November and December, you're in for a big change, my friends. And that doesn't mean Santa bringing you a Christmas present. It means that your Christmas present may be higher rates in the form of coal.
And if you need a great lender, I would definitely call